It finally happened. Donald Trump has rug pulled the Democrats and everybody else who thought he's in the, well, he is in the Epstein files, but that he's guilty or there's anything that's going to bring him down. The rug pull is here. It's epic, and it's going to end up taking down the Democrats and any fake Republicans, uniparty types instead of Trump. It's beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys what's happening. What's up? This is Ace from American Fire, and I got a doozy for you guys tonight. Trump just posted this a couple hours ago, and it says, as I said on Friday night aboard Air Force One to the fake news media, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because we have nothing to hide, and it's time to move on from this Democrat hoax perpetuated by radical left lunatics in order to deflect from the great success of the Republican Party, including our recent victory on the Democratic shutdown. The Department of Justice already turned over tens of thousands of pages to the public on Epstein, are looking at various Democrat operatives like Clinton, Reid Hoffman, Larry Summers, etc., and their relationship to Epstein. And the House Oversight Committee can have whatever they are legally entitled to. I don't care. All I do care about is that the Republicans get back on track. And at the end here, he says, some members of the Republican Party are being used. We can't let that happen. Let's start talking about the Republican Party's record-setting achievements, not fall into the Epstein trap, which is actually a curse on the Democrats, not us. I don't know if you guys have been following or if you've been watching my show, but I have been covering this since last week when the Republicans, in response to the Democrats trying to get a gotcha on Trump, released 23,000 Epstein files, including thousands and thousands of emails going back and forth. And those emails were rich with all kinds of goodies, including plenty of things that exonerate Trump, show that he's completely innocent in all this, and bust Democrats left and right and show that Epstein was much more deeply involved with the Democratic Party, the media, and in attempts to take down Trump than anything else. It got so bad at one point, the Democrats even posted a gotcha moment where they tried to take down Trump by saying Epstein said Trump was a terrible person, not realizing how stupid it was of them to say that Epstein was somehow the great man of moral clarity who could call out somebody like Trump. Also today, the New York Post, having gone through all these emails and all these files, ran a massive headline saying Epstein claimed Trump was a regular visitor but never participated in illicit activity. It's out there, guys. It's out there now. Trump is free. He's free of all this. There's nothing going to come up on him. He waited, he bait and switched the Democrats. Last summer, when all this was going on, he let them dig themselves in deeper. And I told you guys this last summer, if you were watching my show, you knew all along that I was telling everybody, this is classic Trump. He's waiting. Everybody who's ever done deep research on the Epstein files knows Trump was innocent, knows the whole background. I'm not even going to go through it again. I've gone through it so many times of how it's proven he's innocent. Nobody with half a brain and 20 minutes of Google could think that he's actually in the files in any way that damages him. And now we're getting more and more proof, and it's going to exonerate him. And this is going to blow up in the Democrats' faces. And now Trump's actually calling for the Republicans to support it, trapping the Democrats, because now they've all signed up on board, and it's going to hurt them just like it already has. And Trump is going on offense with all of this. Here he is right now.
All of the other people that he spent time with, Jeffrey Epstein and I had a very bad relationship for many years. But he also saw strength because I was president. So he dictated a couple of memos to himself. Give me a break. You're going to find out what did he know with respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan Chase. Yeah,
if there's nothing incriminating in the files,
Venezuela, sir.
Why are you acting as if...
So Trump has directed the DOJ to now go after bad actors in the Epstein files. He is now making this his weapon He's completely flipped it on them, acting for months like he's on the ropes, like they have something on him. And now it's time to bring out the offense, and he's going to be taking down several of them with him. I believe going into 2026, this is going to be one of the great weapons to ruin the Democratic Party and all the enemies of Trump. This is also going to show how many fake MAGA influencers there were, how many people have jumped ship, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Thomas Massey, who have jumped ship on Trump, saying, or at least insinuating, that he was probably a part of this. And we need to see what's in those and going against Trump. So this was a operation, I really believe that, by Trump to weed out the Republican Party as well as ruin the Democrats. Here's a quick clip on John Solomon of how they're going to be following up on this. Watch this. Oops, my bad. 1 second, guys.
Lots of news, particularly on the Jeffrey Epstein front. Yep, Congress has released a whole bunch more of emails. The Democrats tried to make hay, but it hasn't stuck to Donald Trump. You know where it's sticking? To Democrats. And today the story really significantly boomeranged around. Why is that? First, Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer accused Democrat Jamie Raskin of working with prison officials to leak confidential communications from his client. Those prison officials apparently have been disciplined, but that is only the beginning of it. Just a few moments ago, Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that she is naming the acting U.S. attorney in New York City, Jay Clayton, to investigate Democrats' relationships with Jeffrey Epstein and whether any of them rose to the level of criminality. Why? Because so many of the emails today didn't involve Donald Trump or Republicans. That's right. It involved all those Democrats. And this time around, the idea that Democrats would project on Republicans ain't going to cut it. This Justice Department is going to go full bore into that. That is a big, big decision in the weaponization era. And it's another of many signs that I think Pam Bondi is moving towards approving the notion that there was a grand conspiracy against Donald Trump and his followers and conservatives, and it needs to be treated as such, just like the mob was involved in a grand conspiracy or drug cartels were involved in a grand conspiracy. It looks like the Justice Department is moving closer and closer to that.
So why is it such a big deal that they're going to use this as a grand conspiracy? Because a grand conspiracy in RICO charges doesn't have a statute of limitations. In other words, they can't be like, oh, it happened 5 years ago, you can't come after us. No, an ongoing conspiracy is ongoing. And so you can go after them no matter how far back it started. And we know now that Epstein was part of the conspiracy to take out Trump. We have the emails between him and Michael Wolff. We have Michael Wolff's own testimony on this, and all the back and forth between several other operatives, Democrats and in the media, all trying to ruin Trump's reputation and hope that he didn't make it into the presidency. Byron York posted a great story today where he put together all the stuff about Jeffrey Epstein's resentment towards Donald Trump, how much he hated Trump, and for good reason. Trump is the man who took him down. We know this for certain. We have the call logs from 2004 when he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. We have Epstein saying that he told Ghislaine Maxwell to stop with the girls. That is evidence in Trump's favor, not the smoking gun the Democrats thought it was. We have evidence that Trump was the only person, by the prosecutor's own admission, the only person to help prosecute Epstein in 2007. Guys, this goes back so much further. And this would have been so easy for anybody to figure this out. But they want Trump so bad that they were willing to stop looking or not even try looking at the real evidence out there, unlike myself, who've gone back and done this timeline, who's built it all together, and several others, I'm not the only one, who have put together the pieces to prove all along Trump is not a part of this. He is innocent. And you could even say he is the hero of it all because he's the only one who went after Epstein, as I did in my last video. As several people are mocking me for this, but now I'm being vindicated as it keeps coming out. Now Trump is pushing them for the release of more files. He is going to be not only exonerated of this, but look like the best coming out of this, out of everybody. And also it's going to bring down the Democrats, these idiots. went with this too far, and now it's blowing up in their face. And I got to say, I think it's glorious. Trump posting this today, or the other night, as Jesse Waters went through much of the evidence that's coming out in the emails. I'm not going to play the clip because Fox News copyright, but says Trump posted this video about Epstein being connected to Israel and intelligence agencies, explaining Epstein was colluding to take down Trump because he believed Trump was the one to report him to the authorities. That is absolutely freaking correct. And it is in these 23,000 emails released by the Republicans. All you got to do is go find it. You don't have to take my word for it. Go read the emails. I've been saying this all along, and now those of us who stuck by Trump are completely vindicated. And I got to tell you, it's going to be really fun watching this week as the media and the Democrats run in circles trying to figure out how to stop the bleeding on this. Remember, on Tuesday, the Democrats, with a few Republicans, are supposed to vote to release the files in the House. And you know what? They were going to hope that the Senate would block it, because if the House passes it and the Senate blocks it, then it never comes out. And they can say, well, we did it, and what are they hiding? But now Trump's called on the Republicans to release them, which means that they are trapped, because if they now vote to release in the House and the Senate votes to release them, Trump will sign off on that, and all this stuff's going to come out that's going to blow up in their faces. I'm telling you, this is going to be so much fun if you are MAGA. And guys, it's going to feel really good for those of us who stuck by Trump. It already does, but it's going to feel even better. Here, just so in case you're like, oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe the stuff about the Democrats. Well, let me just give you a little taste of what's in those emails before the end of this video. How about the Dem fundraising group, SRG, reaching out to Epstein in 2013 on behalf of Representative Hakeem Jeffries right here. Leslie Groff to Jeffrey Epstein. We are thrilled to announce we're working with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, sometimes referred to as Brooklyn's Barack, or as I like to call him, Timu Obama, or Dollar Store Obama. And there it is, just asking for money. He's an impressive guy, will be a progressive voice in New York politics. Hakeem's committed to the Democratic majority. Shoot us an email or give us a call if you'd like to get involved with the dinner or get to know Hakeem better. Direct contact with him. But, you could say, oh, well, maybe everybody who had money got one of these. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going. How about declassified email from Epstein shows planned visit to the girls of Bill Gates, the Clintons, Woody Allen, Peter Thiel, Gordon Brown, Bill Burns, the Sultan of Dubai, Stephen Kosslyn from Harvard, and others. Planned by Kathy Remler, former White House counsel to President Barack Obama. She refers to Obama in the email, which shows he was overseeing the sexual blackmailing operations. Here's the email right here. Doesn't look like you're prioritizing your schedule very effectively. How are you going to manage all of this? This is Unga week, so the boss, Obama, will be in town too. I'll be here all week. You may get sick of me. Just sat down on the train, so can't talk freely. Girls, ? Careful, I'll renew an old habit. This week, Teal, Summers, Bill Burns, Gordon Brown, Jaglin, Mongolia, Hardy. I'm not going to read all these. Woody, you are a welcome guest at any. If you think interesting people at town, everyone here for Climate Summit, definitely Democrats. Clinton Security Council, holy shit, I'm on blank for the next 30 minutes. And at the bottom here, you need to talk to boss. Again, Remler, speaking of her boss, Barack Obama. This was one of the major bombshells of the weekend. Oversight Committee Democrat sought advice from Epstein in the middle of a hearing in 2019, right before he's caught, to question discredited witness with a vendetta against President Trump. In their meeting, the House member was literally texting Epstein during the meeting, asking what questions to give. It doesn't get about Trump, by the way, to take down Trump. It doesn't get much more simpatico. You don't get much more buddy-buddy than that. Epstein directly working with Democrats to take down Trump. You think they really want these files to come out? I really don't think so. And now Trump is gleefully calling for it. And just a quick reminder again, most of the files that have not been released yet, other than what's about to come from the Justice Department, are being held up by three judges, one in New York, one in Florida. I can't quite remember what the other one is, but they were all approached this summer to release files. They all denied the Department of Justice, Trump's Department of Justice, by the way, and they're all appointed by Democrats. Berman, Bill Clinton appointee, Engelmeyer, Obama appointee, Rosenberg, Obama appointee. Funny how that works. And just so you guys remember, in case you don't believe me, this has been going on a very long time. Here's Trump in 2015 calling out what we're about to find out with all the Epstein stuff well before the public knew.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So,
the Clintons are friends
and he's
of
been
yours,
there
right?
for many times.
The Clintons are friends.
Well, I can't say friends, but
Trump calling out the island and Prince Andrew in 2015, right as he just announced his run for president. Does that look like a guy who is really scared about these files coming out? Nope. I would venture not. And, just in case you still doubt me or you're still having a hard time believing, I'm sure many of you trust or believe the man I'm about to show you, who vindicated Trump completely way back in the day.
I got to ask you about the U.S. election. As you point out, you're not an American citizen. You're an Australian. You're clearly not rooting for Hillary. But are you rooting for Trump?
No. I mean, if we have good information on Trump, we publish that. If we have good information on Hillary, the Democrats, we publish that. It is a bit concerning, the allegations that by the Clinton campaign that everyone is a Russian agent are really disturbing. Why is that? Well, because bizarrely, Hillary Clinton, the Democrat, has positioned herself now to be the security candidate. She's powered up with the neocons responsible for the Iraq War, and she's grabbed on to this kind of neo-McCarthyist hysteria about Russia and is using that to demonize the Trump campaign. The Trump campaign has all sorts of things wrong with it, but as far as we can see, being Russian agents is not one of them. Some people have asked us, when will you release information on Donald Trump? And of course, we are very interested in all countries to reveal the truth about different candidates so people can understand. But it's really hard for us to release anything worse than what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth every second day. I mean, it's part of his charismatic appeal that he speaks off the cuff.
Julian Assange very clearly just sold the whole world, or I didn't just tell him, this was back in 2016, told the entire world that the worst stuff about Donald Trump is just what comes out of his mouth. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no dirt on Donald Trump. They would have released it if they could. And if you don't know who that was, that's Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, the organization that gathered all kinds of information, released all the email information about Hillary Clinton, 7 emails that led to the Pizzagate scandal, all kinds of stuff from the Obama administration and the Bush administration, going back to the Iraq war, proving that they really didn't find weapons of mass destruction, all kinds of stuff that Julian Assange had exposed over the years, privy to information like you wouldn't believe, and never could find a single thing about Donald Trump. You think the Epstein Files might have had something to do with Trump? If Julian Assange was on the case, that something would have poked up with all those people out there and all their connections? Never happened. Never happened. And those of us who've seen these clips, who remember, who've done the research, knew all along, which brings me back to the beginning. Now that Trump is calling out for the Republicans to vote on this, this means he ultimately rug pulled the Democrats and the media. It's glorious. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out. Again, Trump is going to end up looking like a hero in all this and bring down everybody else. This could be the smoking gun that completely turns things around for the midterms and maybe even brings down the Democratic Party once and for all. It's a beautiful day in MAGA land, folks. And it's a beautiful day to remember once again why those of us you guys like to make fun of why we stick with Trump through it all, because the man just always seems to be proven right. All right. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Share it with some friends if you don't mind. I greatly appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, go down the description, click that link. You'll get a free month of membership. And if you like it more after that, you can stay on for just $5 a month. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful night. I will be on live tomorrow night to break more of this down, answer your questions and comments, and go through all the wild happenings in the news. God bless you all. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.